Right, we're just going to start on another set. The set I'm supposed to be working on, I've had to put to one side. I'll put it on Mr. Chippy's bench because it's had wiring shenanigans. So we're going to move on to box 26. This is one of our long-standing trade customers with an awful lot of radios coming in. I think we'll do 3 of his and then move on to somebody else's, and 3 of his and move on to something else. Otherwise it becomes all we're doing is this. So that is a realistic TRC1001. There's 2 of these, but I won't do them together, we'll do them a few sets apart. This one's got a broken aerial, and I keep saying if you send a set in with a broken aerial, what's the point? It's been crimped at the end so that it can be pulled out, but you've got an element missing. So if you try and use this radio, you destroy the output stage. That aerial is 2 elements too short, at least. That's supposed to be 1.5 meters, and if I can manage not to poke the camera, useless. So you've got a set with a capability of about 14-mile range, but the aerial's broken. There's no way of getting a replacement except by buying another set. Sometimes American ones come up, and I've bought an AM American one. I'm not talking about the same model as this, but one with the, you can't use the one with the centre loading coil, but there were some earlier ones on the market. I've shown you all this before, and I ended up paying 30-something pounds to bring an American set across with an intact aerial, just for the aerial. Right, a bit of corrosion in the bottom, but we'll do the courtesy of cleaning that with a fiberglass brush. I may have bought this because the mic was included, and these aren't immune to the insert failing either. They're really strongly done because the PTT bar runs through quite a lot of the mouldings. So I think it's the 25th today. It really doesn't matter. 2023. I was supposed to say March if you can read writing like mine. Realistic. TRC1001. Serial number. There's an early version and a late one. I can't remember what the serial numbers change out. This could be the early one looking at this. These were £119.99 in 1981, and they work exceptionally well. Not as sensitive as some sets, and we won't be able to really prove what the sensitivity is because by the time we put it through this Motorola adapter and an SO239, we've lost quite a lot of signal. So I'm going to get my power lead out, which should be to my right. You know what? Can I see my power lead, which is to my right? So where's that gone? Mr. Chippy made up a cigarette lighter plug, and that should be 2.1mm and fit. These which have got intact flaps are often hard and brittle, and they soon snap off. So we'll get this connected up with 12-volt radio. So we'll select 12.5 volts on the power supply. And there we are. So we're on channel 20. Display lights up, you press the black button to illuminate it. That's a battery saving power thingy thing. What's it? Key up. When we put an aerial adapter in. There we go. So put the camera on the right one. I've got no power going into that. That's because I'm on the aerial. Not on the test set, I'm on the aerial. I've just keyed somebody out on channel 20. In the middle of nowhere. Right, try again. Making some nasty noises. 2.2 watts. These are 3.5 watt radio, despite you thinking they're 4. Most of these type of things are 3.5 watts. 2.2 and 2.2. Low power. Go to channel 20 to make it fair. 150 milliwatts. And on normal power, the current is 680 milliamps. Deviation, wallow, is where? Wallow. They've got funny AGC on this. The initial attack, wallow. So it's actually about 1.6, but the initial attack was 3. It's just the way the automatic gain control is. So these don't have an S meter. It's a battery meter and a relative power meter. They don't have a meter lamp. They don't have PA. So the RF meter, I can't even see it. I'm going to have to get a torch to that. So let's go over to the receive. It can't be that deaf, surely. Surely not. Right. Luckily, they've got a plethora of sockets, so we can plug all the test gear in like you can with a normal set. So for 12 dB cyanide, it's 300. This is if there's no aerial connected. It's so bad. I'm not going to do anything but this one. It's 300. No, it's not. It's 1 millivolt. So there's no point doing the others because something's clearly wrong. Right, I'll take the mic out for now. We'll switch it off and we'll open it up. And this will be about as far as we get today because we're now 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm just going to make sure it's not some ridiculous tune-up problem. I think it's that one we avoid. That's the trap for transmitted. Oh, it's the late version with the adjustable power. The third harmonic trap is that. Just going to go through these quickly. To be honest, they are all quite a bit out. Still, after that, it's now 700 microvolts, so it's still not right. Now then, I've pressed on that coil, it's come right. Straight away. Oh, of course, I've just knocked the thing off frequency. It's so easy to do that on this signal generator. What were Marconi thinking? Perhaps nobody else has got such fat hands. So that's now brought it down to 8 microvolts, something like that. We don't get normal figures because of the adapter tree. So I'm going to start looking for dry joints. We'll just turn it off because they are pretty notorious. I'll tell you what, I'm going to unsolder the speaker. The leads just aren't quite long enough to be comfortable with that. We'll do the VCO, we'll do the frequency, we'll pop this screening plate off, which is an absolute swine to put back. This is where the later version, the 1005, the screening plate's easier to put back. The display subboard removes. It's going to take me, probably take me 3 minutes to get it off, and then 20 minutes to put it back on. We've got 2 of these from this customer. We've got another one from another customer. We've got a realistic 1002 from another customer. So we've got a lot of realistic handhelds in at the moment. Wow, that took some getting off. So some of the dry joints, they're on the through pins because they're not plated through, they're just soldered through with metal pins. It's normally this side that's troublesome. So I can see one there that's looking a bit evil. I think there's 9, that's 3. That one actually looks alright, but I'll do it anyway. I think that's the culprits there. down here. I'm doing this on all this type of set now when they come in. I think that's it. That's 1 microvolt, which you might think is crap, but you know, we've got these adapters, so that's about where you'd expect it. Make sure it still transmits. Yes, it does. Right, we'll get the service manual out. I'm not going to do the VCO, but unless it's not going to play up. I do need to. We'll do the frequency. I know which that one is. It's there. So go on to the frequency counter. I don't understand why it's gone up. They go down. So there we go. So I won't take the lid yet. So I'm going to turn the power to full on this preset, and then go through the transmitter. So that brings us up to 2.7, 2.8 watts. I'll just find the service manual. We'll use the 1005 one, it's the same difference. So transmitter is L5 and T6. So let's be sure that where these are. L5, T6, T7, T8, L8, L9. So we start there. Bum, 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 bum. Right. So the failure is what? 3 watts. We'll go back to the power meter. We'll go back to the power meter when I actually get the camera's remote to respond. Here goes. There's a peak there, so that's improved. That was already at peak. Change scales now. So I'll just go back because they're interactive. I know we should have done this one first, but we didn't. So which tool is it for those? that was correct peak. We're about 3.1. Just want to check the band edges now. Channel 40. 2.1. Channel 1. 2.1. Channel 20. Am I reading this wrong? 3.1. Channel 1. Yeah, I'm reading it wrong. It's 3. Channel 40 is 3.1. So it's nicely balanced at 3.1. So just have a look at what voltage we can do, because at the moment we're presenting 12.5 volts. It is supposed to be 12.5 volts you're doing the tune-up on. Yep, so we're bang on the money. It's doing 3.1 watts, that's better than the minimum. And let's go to low power. I'm going to let that cool down. We'll go to low power and we'll just check transmit on channel 20. On low power, we've got 160 milliwatts. It's not adjustable on these, and that's in spec. So we'll look at deviation. I'll use the internal mic. Wallow. That's turned to full. Wallow. It's about 2. Right. Let's go back to power. So go back to high power. We'll just get a reading. .1. 3. 3.1. And go to channel 20. 852 milliamps. Get a decent reading on that. Especially if the crocodile clip doesn't come off. Wall, no, not in the right one. Wall. So 1.9 to 2.2. Let's just try it with the external mic. Wall. Frequency counter. I've already forgotten where we were with that. 79124. So we'll do the detector. Could just remember where it was without looking at the manual. I think it's that one. Yeah, little tiny adjustment there. Then we've got these for the receive. No, of course you've seen me do that, and it did make an improvement. If I hold on to the range boost side panels, you'll see what an improvement that gives you when you're earthing it with your body. I inadvertently touched that, so I have to check with the spectrum analyzer without charging the customer. Oh, hello, Mr. Chippy. Right, so with the spectrum analyzer on, we'll just dial in, first of all, 2779125. I'm just do a rough pickup, and I'll just use Mr. Chippy's crocodile clip lead. So you can see to the right, I can also see we've got a harmonic. I've got to check that's in spec. So let's see what that is. It's 55. I think that's what we're getting rid of. So I'm going to now just have to read the... we normally have a fee if we start using the spectrum analyzer, but it's my mistake. I'm obviously doing this and I shouldn't be at this time. May start making mistakes. Transmitter. So it's L12, which I shouldn't have touched. Yeah, we're looking for second harmonic, so we'll key that up, and I need to adjust L12 to minimise that. And that has minimised that. So I'd only just touched it, so it wasn't far out. Let's see if we can get a reading off that. So I want a peak reading, so we'll just do that. There we go. Minus 54 dBm. It doesn't give a figure, it just says for the minimum. Right, so I'm happy with that. So I can't, as I say, I can't get proper figures because the way these are, these adapter trees. So we've now got, for 12 dB, so this will look atrocious, but it isn't. It's 8 microvolts. You know, he's pointed me writing these down. 7.4 microvolts and 20 it probably will never achieve. Actually, it has done at 25 microvolts. But you know, and the squelch isn't adjustable. All I can tell you is it works. So we can't do all that. So basically that's it. I'm going to leave this on overnight. I've just turned the volume down so it doesn't keep me awake. We'll turn the gear off and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Okay, so the next day, it's Sunday, and it's 7 o'clock, so it's 23 hours later. So we'll do this. I haven't pre-tested this or anything. I want to make sure, to the best of my ability, that we've cleared the dry joints with what I did yesterday. I don't charge for these dry joints, so I'm not entering into a contract. We're charging for a tune-up. So the set should still be on. It is. I just need to set the signal generator. Just make sure the radio's transmitting. So if we just put picture in picture on so you can see what we're doing. So we're going to transmit. I'll put it on the 3 watt scale so it should bang across. It does. Deviation. Wallow. I've got nothing. Why have I got nothing? What channel am I on? I'm on 20. Have we retuned this? Wallow, 1212. 1212, we retune. Wallow, that's spot on. Right, so receive 27 79125. And it's come straight in as I've got the frequency coming up on the signal generator. I'm still tuning it in, so right, so, and I'm satisfied that's the right sensitivity. Right, good. Now, where did I put that pesky screening plate? It took me ages to get that off. I'll unplug the radio so I can get this on all kinds of angles. Put the soldering iron on ready for the speaker. So he's got one in a box as well. I think he bought this because the mic was with it. I think that's what he said. He's got one like new in a box. Well, you know what? That went on easier than when I took it off. I do find the wires are just a little bit short on these radios. Now, we don't try radios on batteries. As you know, we're a trade supplier, and unless somebody had some particular reason that they weren't able to do things with battery compartments, then, you know, we wouldn't do that. We're not offering a retail type of service. So I've gone through that with the fiberglass brush. So again, if he's going to use that on batteries, hopefully that should be all right. We're checking it on external power. This can't be used with that aerial like that, but there you are. Perhaps one will turn up. Perhaps you have to do as I do and buy an American set and scrap it for the antenna and end up paying 30 quid for the privilege. But there you are. I don't think the TV shows of the 70s helped, where they snapped down telescopic areas very, very rapidly, and you don't do it like that. So you'd always, I shouldn't have to say this, but you'd always start with this lower element and you'd push them down carefully like that. And then there's another 2 or 3 elements there should be on this one. So we're going to keep coming back to this microphone because we're going to use his microphone on quite a lot of different sets. We're going to do an on-the-air test shortly on this. And I'm going to test 3 microphones on this radio. We're going to test my standard replacement mic, which I've wired up for realistic, and we're going to use this mic, and of course we're going to use the built-in mic. So I want to hear the difference between, especially between this external mic, which was the correct one, and my standard replacement mic that we can get today. There we go. I'm going to once again plug it in and just make sure it still works now it's been put together. Powers up. There we go. That's absolutely fine. So let's get it on the aerial instead of the test equipment. So if I said at the beginning of the video, we were working on a major 3000, which is Cybernet 134 set, and Mr. Chippy had to rewire where there's been some shenanigans in the past. So that will be back on the bench tomorrow, and see whether we can fix its other faults, which are no transmitted audio and no audio on PA. So in the meantime, I thought we'll get on with this one. So we'll flick round the channels. 1 Anna Roger. 792, yeah, good. Oh, we didn't do that, did we? Just check. I'm going to zoom this camera in on this meter because I can't see it moving, and I might be able to see it better off the monitor. Oh, not focused on it now, has it? Better just unplug that mic. Or we might be just not in the right position. Let's take it back a bit. Alright, I'm going to stand up and look at the monitor and then switch the radio on. I think I can see the needle in the red zone just there. It's still in the red zone, isn't it? So we're now going to transmit. I say the meter's not working. Like it matters. Right, there we go. Let's give it a quick call through. Put that mic back in. One Anna Roger. Yeah, some racket from abroad. No, I think they're all having their tea. Right, there you go. A realistic 1001. That's his shabbier one of the two. It's the later version, which is nice. So, thank you for watching.